All right, we are live. I think we're live. Let us know if everything is working. It is pouring. What a start. What a start. It was sunny all day. First of all, hello, everybody. Welcome to the Charge on UCF versus Colorado pregame live show. I'm your host, Sean Green, alongside, as always, my co-host, Nick Geddes. It was fine. It was a beautiful day, hot. If you could see it on my face, sweating all day, wearing black. Had to get a lot of stuff ready for this pregame show. And then we're getting set up in the stadium, and it starts pouring rain. Students are still outside. They are not being let in right now. I don't know if anybody's being let in. I'm going to move this laptop because the rain is starting to come this way, so we're going to move. Live TV. Rain is getting all of our stuff wet. Don't know what that is. Look what that is. Do you see that goop or something? Live TV. Everybody, drop your comments, questions, everything down below. 3:30 game, so a little earlier than what we're used to these first 3 weeks. But Nick, kind of give your quick first thoughts while we let people get in. Please drop your comments, questions, observations in the comments. We want to hear them. But kind of give your thoughts on the game. It's been a couple days since we've recorded our episode. Are you more confident, less confident, about the same? Kind of where's your head out heading into Colorado?
Yeah, I guess first off, I feel like we should say shout out to the UCF fan base for showing out at the Big Noon kickoff. We took in the whole experience, and they said on Big Noon it was the largest crowd they've had all year, maybe the largest crowd they've had in the short history of Big Noon kickoff. So that was great. DJ Khaled here, Fat Joe, the whole Big Noon crew, and we were walking in here today, and we saw Cam Newton. There is a lot of people, who's who, are here in Orlando. It feels like one of the epicenters of college football today on a very great day for college football, might I add. The whole thing about the recruits and the number of people that are here could not be any more true. They are everywhere. We've run into some big recruits, so it's obviously a very important game. So yeah, great atmosphere, and now it's pissing sideways right now, the rain is. And we're having to deal with it on this live show. We are surrounded.
Hold the mic. This is
crazy, we are absolutely surrounded right now doing this entire show, so please bear with us. We're going to try to get through this as best we can. We thank y'all for tuning in. But it's very wet right now. It's very wet, as you can see. So in terms of confidence for this game, I tell you what, if it's going to keep raining, advantage UCF. I think we all would say that. So I know we still got a little bit to go, probably, 90 minutes now from kickoff. I'd love to see it continue raining for UCF's sake, because I would like to dare Colorado to run the football, and we know that's UCF's strength, so that would be great. I see we got some Colorado fans in the chat, so good to have y'all as well. We hope to keep it respectful and everything. Yeah. Devin chiming in, tired of this rain. Seems like every pregame show this season has had terrible weather. Yeah, we have been snake-bitten a little bit when it comes to these pregame shows, when it comes to weather. But, hey, we live in Florida. We just had a hurricane, so absolutely our thoughts are with those affected all across the state of Florida and the southeastern United States. That was awful.
We're going to move this way. Keep talking.
We're going to try to move this way. This is live right now, so we can't really control it.
This is very bad.
This is very bad. Like I said, thank you so much for gutting out through this.
You guys up.
We're going to pick this up. I'm going to move with the mic.
Hopefully this laptop stays on its stand.
This is why you go to journalism school, right here. You're pivoting. We're pivoting.
Keep going.
Yeah, keep going. Keep going. And no rain. Look at that. We found a dry spot in the bounce house. All right, I think we're all good.
That was stressful. So for context, the place we were standing had no rain. And then all of a sudden, a big gush of water just started to come like a lake.
And a pile of goo. There's a mysterious pile of purple goo on the floor.
Yeah, I don't know what that is, but great start.
We got a French fry dude. He's going to come into the shot right here in a second.
Yeah, you'll see him behind us. If you want to be a part of the show, which I think most people are in the rain right now, we're standing outside of section 224 to 227, kind of onto the left side of the student section, kind of right behind.
Hold up. Johnny Jackson, I don't need a poncho. I don't do ponchos.
I need a paper towel to wipe every crevice of my body, specifically my face right now because it looks rough. But no, you talked about Big Noon Kickoff. Let's talk about that because Big Noon Kickoff was here at UCF. Fans were incredible. It was all over social media how much UCF showed out for that moment. Celebrities, you mentioned Cam Newton. Rick Ross is in the Colorado locker room right now. Okay. So he's here for Colorado. So you got a lot of big-time people. We want to put an emphasis, though, Nick, because we have seen all week Colorado is, quote-unquote, according to Colorado fans, everybody's Super Bowl, which there is some truths to that and there are some not truths to that, right? Some of the truths to that is, listen, when you have as much media attention as Colorado does, the goal should be, and the goal is, that you want to beat them on national television. You want to be able to go beat them, prove to everybody that you're better than this hype team that gets all the hype. What I will say, the negative to that, and what I don't find is a good argument is, oh, Colorado's just this big bad that everybody's like wanting to slay. It's like this team did go 4-8 last year. They are better in a lot of areas, but they are still lacking at certain big-time areas like the offensive and defensive line.
Yeah, I mean, trust me, I've been reminded by the Colorado faithful this week that, and I'm aware, the run defense has been a lot better and a lot improved this year for Colorado. We'll see if that translates, because again, I'm speaking more to the strength of UCF, and that's this rushing offense. It's the number one rushing offense in the country. It's the same way how I have my concerns, and I basically am telling you right now, I don't think UCF is going to stop Travis Hunter from blowing this game open. I just don't think Colorado is going to stop the UCF running game from blowing the game open. I just think that both of those areas are such sort of positives for these teams that it's going to be tough to stop them. So, yeah, Colorado's a flawed football team, but also UCF is a flawed football team. I mean, if TCU makes a field goal at the end of that game 2 weeks ago, we're having a completely different discussion. So it's not lost on me. UCF's got some issues. Colorado's got some issues. I know the big sort of matchups that everybody's looking at in this one is Colorado has had a lot of trouble this week, especially last week against Sawyer Robinson and Baylor, stopping the quarterback runs. And UCF secondary obviously got torched to the tune of 400-plus yards by Josh Hoover and UCF's offense, and that's obviously Colorado's strength. So that's why I think it is going to be high scoring. It's going to be a Big 12 chaos football game because both these teams have their strengths and they match up very well against these teams' weaknesses.
No, for sure. And I think both these teams, if Colorado scores over 30, Nick, we kind of talked about it, they're really hard to beat.
They are undefeated in the Deion Sanders era when they scored 30-plus.
Yep. So if you're UCF, and most remember the last year's game against TCU, right, where it was the first week, Deion Sanders' new era of Colorado football, and many people were like, this is TCU defending Big 12 champs, or not Big 12 champs, defending going to the Natty, didn't win it, but a lot of these people just assumed TCU was going to run all over Colorado and beat Colorado. And it became a dogfight, it became a back-and-forth battle on offense. I thought we picked a perfect spot where the band wasn't going to be, but now the band is coming this way.
No such thing as a perfect spot at the moment. There just is not.
No, so listen, you're going to hear a little bit of the band coming by us. You're going to see a lot of people coming by us, but it's live from the Bounce House. What can you say? We love it. We dig it. We'd rather be doing this than being at home. So, again, we appreciate all you joining us. But with that being said, if you're UCF and you get into a scoring battle against Colorado, most likely you're losing this game. I think me and you both agree with that. If you're UCF and it is tied at halftime, tied entering the fourth quarter, though you have a really good chance to win, if Colorado goes over 30, they've proven that they are really hard to beat.
They are, and I think a big thing for UCF today, and this is in general for every game, but especially today against Colorado, is we know that I think Shedeur Sanders has been sacked, 17 times this year so far? I think he got sacked, 8 times last week against Baylor? And UCF right now, through 3 games, is sitting with 1 sack. And I know we've talked a lot about the pressure rate. They're top 25 in the country when it comes to getting pressure. And you like that, obviously. And in some situations, pressures, at the end of the day, a sack is that it assures you, you got the quarterback down and everything, but pressures obviously can impact the game. But I think today there's a really good opportunity to get some sacks. And if UCF fails to do that, I think Colorado probably wins this football game.
Devin in the chat says, also can't wait to see Jimmy Horn. He went to my alma mater, Bokie, and has a lot of high school teammates on the UCF team. Should be interesting. He's played against UCF twice. Yep. He was on USF. Didn't have great games. I mean, he put up about 50 yards in each game.
How's USF doing today?
I was going to bring them up, but not doing so good. again, it's kind of raining, so I'm like going to keep doing stuff. But no, USF's getting blown out, which we love to see. But hopefully that doesn't happen here. We hope that is a completely different scenario here. But no, Jimmy Horn is definitely, listen, I don't know how UCF's going to stop Travis Hunter. I don't know what the game plan is, if they're looking to just go one-on-one. I said I don't think you should double Travis Hunter. I think you need to play him one-on-one. Don't let other guys beat you, because when you start sending help over the top on one guy, Colorado has enough guys to beat you. But with that being said, a guy like Jimmy Horn can do damage. Him and Wester can do damage as another 1-2 punch behind Travis Hunter.
And what scares me a little bit is Jimmy Horn's been a little quiet here over the last few games. I mean, we talked about it. The bulk of his yardage came in that Week 1 game against North Dakota State. So the odds are sort of telling you is that Jimmy Horn's going to pick it up at some point. You hope it's not today, but having to deal with him and Travis Hunter and LeJontay Wester, and obviously everybody else. So Marion Miller's another guy who we haven't talked much about. Reed Shepard, of course. Like, it's a very deep wide. It's one of the best wide receiver units in the entire country. And I certainly respect that. I think Ted Roof and this defense respects that. And you got to do the best you can to limit that damage today.
No, for sure. I saw something come up that said, like, something was overloaded. So
we're all overloaded right now. Trust me.
Just need to make sure we're all good. Looks like we are. It is kind of being choppy, so we apologize. I think that is partially the rain. Obviously, because it is coming down. It is coming down pretty hard. We were talking about it, though. If this rain keeps going, this kind of is playing into UCF's hand. Colorado did play in a rain game last week. Wasn't as bad. Obviously, it was more sprinkle. But Colorado's going to throw the ball regardless. But if this weather keeps up, then this definitely...
Yes, we got Gary Sheffield coming here. Gary Sheffield is in the building, just walking by us here. Should be in the Hall of Fame. Disgrace that he's not.
They've let a lot of people in, and people are soaked, which you kind of, if you could just see what's behind us, and most of you may be watching, kind of see it too. Let's read a couple comments. Steven Gonzalez is 44 UCF to 28 Colorado. Let's talk about the spread. That's been one of the biggest talking points of the week, is Colorado fans don't feel like they are getting the due that they deserve, which me and you both said. The spread is absolutely ridiculous. I'll be the first one to tell you that. UCF was favored at one point by 15.5 this week. It is now kind of leveled out at 14, which is 2 touchdowns. We talked about it. If I was a betting man on Bet Online, I would probably bet Colorado at plus 14, because it doesn't feel like a game that UCF is going to completely dominate. But at the same time, smarter people than me have looked at this game and said they think UCF will blow Colorado out, that they have the much better team in all areas of the football, yada, yada, yada. So what do you see? Why do you think the spread ultimately is sticking at 14? Do you think people are assuming this is Colorado from last year and not looking at the team this year?
Yes and no. Yes and no. I think there's always those narratives of Colorado sort of being the same team they were last year. But this is a new team. I think they are improved in certain areas, as we've sort of highlighted this week. The spread didn't make sense to me when I saw it. It still doesn't make sense to me today. And again, if that field goal goes in for TCU 2 weeks ago, is that spread 14? I mean, I don't think so. I think that spread's probably under 10. So it's a little odd. If you're a betting man, I'm not really a big betting guy, but if you are a betting guy, I think the money probably is on Colorado today. Because Colorado, I mean, they do play in a lot of close games. I know Nebraska sort of got away from them early in the season, but they did play really tough in that second half, and based on their performance in the last 2 games, it looks like maybe that was a little bit of a turning point for them. But I do think they are going to play in some close games here, and I think the 14 is just a little too much for me.
Yeah, I will say, the humidity today is no joke. Like, it's a different, and I can only imagine what it's going to be like once this rain does stop. I can kind of see, or I saw it like 2 seconds ago, I kind of saw some clear skies. I could kind of start seeing that. It's starting to get very busy because of the rain. A lot of people are coming in here. But, no, I think the spread, we'll see. I picked it as a 11-point victory for UCF. Nick picked it as a 6. I think this is going to be a much closer game than people are anticipating. But at the same time, if the weather's like this for the next games in an hour, even if it stops,
Field's going to be drenched too.
field's going to be drenched. It's going to be muggy. This plays into UCF's favor. You want to be able to play a hard-nosed ground football game. We already know Colorado's going to load the box. Deion Sanders, Coach Prime, said, we're going to load the box and pray. That's what they're going to do. Do you think that Deion's playing it up? Like, oh, this is what we're going to do? Or do you think there's definitely more to it than just loading the box up for Colorado?
I'm sure there is more to it, but loading the box up is a good starting point. And listen, in a way, as much as you want to force Colorado to run the football and see what they can do there, I'm sure from Colorado's standpoint, I mean, they want to make UCF pass the ball. And I think that's still, like, even though KJ Jefferson has played much better over the last 2 games, I'm still not convinced that UCF passing offense is going to be as prolific as they want it to be as this year goes on. I think that's a fair sort of concern right now. And we talked about it. Colorado, I mean, has some really good players in that secondary. So as much as Colorado wants to stop the run, you know, they want to force UCF to pass. And so that's going to, we know Kobe obviously is probably going to draw a lot of matchups from Travis Hunter today. So I'm looking at the rest of this receiving core, and somebody's got to step up. I just haven't seen enough production from any of those guys really outside of Kobe Hudson. And if they stack the box and UCF doesn't like the looks and Colorado's doing great down there, you're going to have to pass the ball eventually. And so that the pressure sort of shifts over to KJ Jefferson and some of these skill guys to get that done today.
I think we might have to cut this short. I'm going to be honest. I think the rain's becoming a little too much. We've got a lot of tech out here. So we might have to cut this short. Let me check the back of the laptop. Yeah, it's starting to get a little wet and a little bit crowded due to the rain. And if you can just see what we're looking at, if you're at the stadium, we're just looking down there. And if you can see, I mean, why not? Let me turn this around so you can kind of get an idea. So if I point this up and you just look in the distance right about there, it's pretty crazy. So Nick, if you want to come on, we'll take a couple more. We'll go a couple more minutes in the meantime. But this is kind of what we're looking at. It's starting to get sunny on the other side, pretty bad on this side. Everything is getting wet, and I think we're all just waiting for the game. We're all waiting for the game. We know we've done all the talking. Talking's over. We don't need to go 30 minutes on a pregame show to get you excited. Everybody's pumped. Any final thoughts before I think we close it out? I think we're packing up shop here.
Let's have a day. Let's have a day. This is college football. No, don't take it for granted. This is as big as a UCF home game that I can remember, honestly. I know some of the other ones from the 2017, 2018 season stick out. But in terms of who was in the building today, and like I said, it's like 5 minutes ago, Gary Sheffield walks by. Cam Newton's here. Like, who else? Who knows what's here? There's like half the NFL teams have scouts in attendance today. National media is here. There is an overflow of media for this football game. I mean, this is exciting stuff. I don't think we've had enough of it here at UCF. This has been a great showcase, but you know what? The way to sort of capitalize on that is to go win that football game today. So we'll see.
This is a big-time moment. I don't care who the opponent is. Obviously, you have to keep winning to have a special season. But like what Nick said, you're playing a team that has so much hype. The people in this building today, the eyeballs that are going to be on this game, call it like it is. America likes to see Colorado lose. They call that what it is. You know, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to know that people in America want Colorado to lose. They have all the hype. They know how to deal with the pressure. This isn't every week they deal with this. I don't want to call it a circus, but it kind of is, right? This is a circus. They know how to deal with it. Can UCF respond? They don't get this every week. So can UCF respond and punch them in the mouth? That's going to be the real question. If not, if the defense can't play against Shedeur and Travis and let them throw all over the yard, UCF will lose this game. But I do think with the weapons UCF has, the way they can run the football vertically, out to the angles, doing all that stuff, I do think UCF has a really good chance at winning this game. Thank you so much for tuning in. Eli, broadcast from the restroom. That would be something, let me tell you. It's getting really bad. Hopefully my expensive laptop is here and available for the postgame show, because that's the more important one, is the postgame show.
Hopefully it's not raining during the postgame show.
That could also be a cause for concern, but
we'll be covered on that one. We'll be covered on that one.
Yeah, we'll at least be covered. If it doesn't rain during the game, then we'll be good after the game outside. But if not, it's going to be a problem. RJ, great attitude. Oh, great attitude, guys. Appreciate your real perspectives, good content. Appreciate it, guys. All right, we're going to get out of here. Like, subscribe, comment, share. Do all that you do. We greatly appreciate it. Make sure you send this to your friends. I know it's a short one, but send it out. And we will see you after the game for the post-game